Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Kovak here, and for this one I will be giving an overview and just going over all of the pets that you can acquire from Children's Week, as it is finally upon us. Now, before we begin, keep in mind that Children's Week is literally only here 1 week out of the entire year, starting today up until next Thursday. So you got to get a little boost behind you if you want to acquire these pets before it's over. And also, there are 2 pets that you absolutely have to get from the event. They cannot be traded, they cannot be bought off the auction house. You have to get them from the event, which is why I urge you to go out and get them as soon as you can. With that being said, we will be looking at how efficient they will be at PvP. If that's the reason that you are acquiring them. You can also get them as a pretty good money maker. Can get quite a bit of gold, especially since there are 4 new ones that you can trade and put on the auction house, as prices will probably skyrocket right off the bat, and then slowly later in time deplete over time. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into it. First up, we actually do have the first 2 that you have to get from the event itself. As you can see, they are not tradable, so you have to get them from Children's Week. First up, we have the Curious Oracle Hatchling. He is a humanoid. He is a standard balance breed. So your standard 1481 health, 276 attack power and speed. He's got Punch or Water Jet, so basically your basic attack. That's really up to you. He's got Super Sticky Goo, basically prevents your opponent from swapping out for 2 turns. Age Yolk, which can be handy at times. I mean, he is a humanoid, so like say an Unborn Valk throws up both Haunt and Curse of Doom, you could just use Age Yolk and it'll remove both of them. It's on a short 2-round cooldown, so it can be situational. And he's got Backflip and Dreadful Breath. Backflip's only really good if you are faster. He's not the fastest pet in the world. And then he's got Dreadful Breath, which is actually a pretty good AoE. So not that bad of a pet. He's just not really the best. He looks like a pretty fun pet. He probably would do good on a Dreadful Breath team if you are interested in using him in PvP. And again, he is not tradable, so you have to get him from Children's Week. It's just a short little quest line that involves you taking your own Curious Oracle hatchling around doing stuff. And I believe you'll get him in the mail, I think. Same thing goes with the Curious Wolvar pup. It's basically the same thing, except there are some minor differences in the quest line. But I do believe you also get him in the mail. So a pretty decent pet if you're interested in getting him. Next up, of course, we do have the Curious Wolvar pup. Like the Curious Oracle hatchling, you have to do the quest line in order to get him. From Children's Week, he can't be caged, as you can see, so no buying him off the auction house. But I highly recommend getting this pet. I cannot stress how much, because this is an absolute god, awesome pet. He is definitely tier 1. Back in WoD, he was a high tier 2 pet because of all the undead or whatever, so he couldn't really shine that good. But nowadays, he is god tier. Oh my god. That trap is just too good, man. Too good. And he basically improved over the years. He hasn't really changed, except that I believe back in Mist or something like that, Whirlwind was actually different. It would only do a set amount of AoE, he would individually go around and hit them, kind of like a Bone Storm, but they changed it, so he actually got better. Curious Wolvar pup is a standard power type, so he hits crazy hard. You've got Bite and Punch to pick from, so basically that's really up to you. Again, with the Curious Oracle hatchling, generally you probably will go with Bite, as you can both not only do strong damage to critters, but also take weak damage from them. Right here, this is a no-brainer. Choose Snap Trap. It is a hell of a lot better than Frenzy Heart Brew. That's basically like a Stampede that doesn't put up a Shatter Defense, but it gives you a damage increase, which it can be somewhat useful, but Why would you choose that over Snaptrap? That's the main reason why Curious Wolvar Pup is so good. You basically set it and forget it. You can activate it manually with an ability like Cleanup, or you can just see if it'll go off within the 9-round duration. Basically has a 10% chance to go off each round. But I've seen some Curious Wolvar Pups run this, and I absolutely just laughed at them. Because I just don't understand why people take that over Snaptrap. It's absolutely hilarious. And then we got Whirlwind and Maul. Very situational. If it's not a bleed team, Whirlwind is probably your best bet. But of course, if you are on a bleed team with him, Maul is fantastic, as he is one of the harder hitting Maul users in the game. Does 517 up front and an extra 345 if they're bleeding, so not bad at all. Not to mention being a humanoid, he's going to be healing up every turn that he does damage. So overall, a really good pet. Highly recommend getting him, as this is the only time to get him. Because once the Children's Week event is gone, it's gone. And you're going to have to wait a whole nother year for him. Alright, next up we have Egbert. Now I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. Egbert is absolute garbage. I'm just going to be honest with you. He's just a standard balance breed. He's a critter, which critter ratio is not bad, but I mean his moveset is not good. I mean, again, you got Biter Peck, so that's your basic attack, Shell Shield, or Adrenaline Rush, so you either want to be faster or have a little defensive ability. Then Trample and Feign Death. Feign Death is definitely better than Trample, but overall, not a good pet for PvP. He's a pretty cool looking pet. I definitely would get him if you don't have him, but if you decide to get extras, of course you can just throw him on the auction house. So yeah, not very good pet. Next up, we have Legs, and Legs is pretty interesting. He's okay. He's one of the few pets that have Laser, which is an ability that has a 200% hit chance, so even if you have like blinding poison on you, you still have a 100% chance to hit. Oh, he is a magic type, which honestly I think magic racial needs a buff. That would make them a lot better. He is a standard balance breed. So laser or pump. So either a basic attack or a hard-hitting ability in the form of pump, surge of power, or gravity. Gravity is not that good. Basically, the first time use, I think it deals damage, and then the second time you just basically prevent your opponent's pet from fleeing, which I guess can be situationally good, but really surge of power is probably the way to go. And then you got focus beams, which is a ramp-up ability. If you swap out, it will reset. And then you got Whirlpool, which you basically set it and forget it. And when it goes off, it'll deal damage or prevent your pet from fleeing. Legs is, I guess, you would consider kind of a powerhouse, because if you decide to go with Pump, Surge of Power, both of those abilities already hit crazy damn hard. And then probably Focus Beams. He's pretty situational. At best, I guess I would say he's tier 2, but yeah, pretty okay pet if you're interested in getting him. Next up we have Mr. Wiggles. Now, for the longest time, Mr. Wiggles was the main go-to pet when it came to Uncanny Luck and not using Rain Dance, as Rain Dance, as you all may know, only stays up for 3 turns. The turn that you use it, and then 2 turns after. Uncanny Luck technically stays up for 5 turns. The turn that you use it, and the 4 turns after. It basically has the same thing as Rain Dance, except it's only a 25% extra chance to crit, but it's still a pretty good ability. Mr. Wiggles is definitely a force to be reckoned with. You can put him on a Cyclone team, like I said, or you can put him on a team with a pet. For example, the Iron Starlet that has a 50% chance ability that hits hard, like the Iron Starlet, like I said, with Demolish, or Trunks with his Winelix Fly. He's a pretty decent pet, I'd have to say. I definitely recommend getting this pet. He is a critter, a cute little piggy, as you can see. He's a power balance breed, so not bad at all. You got Hoof or Disease Bite. to choose from, so really it's up to you. Most of the time you probably are going to go with hoof, but a disease bite is not bad as there are a lot of humanoids around. Buried treasure or crouch, so a defensive ability or a heal. Not a bad decision right here either. You can really go with either. Most Mr. Wiggles will go with crouch, as it is usually the better option. And then of course you got uncanny luck and headbutt. Most of the time you probably will go with uncanny luck, as you will probably be pairing them up, like I said, with a cyclone user or a 50% ability user. But headbutt isn't a half bad option either, so pretty versatile pet right here that we have. Pretty good. Definitely recommend getting him if you are interested. Next up we have Peanut. Now kind of same with Egbert. Peanut's not that good, but he is a health breed, so he has a crap ton of health. He probably would be better if he was a beast type, as he could take advantage of his beast racial, but he is a critter, which isn't half bad, I guess. He is a cute little Elec, and like I said, he is a critter, so at least you can't get stunned and stuff like that, as there are a lot of pets that have stuns in the meta right now. So you have a choice between Smash and Trample. Smash is a basic attack, and Trample is only really good if your opponent has a lot of health, like for example the Spirit Crab. So I probably would go with Smash. He's not very fast to take advantage of survival, so probably go with Trumpet Strike, as it deals a little bit of damage. It gives you a damage increase for 3 rounds. And then Headbutt and Stampede, I guess this would be situational, but you probably will go with Headbutt 9 times out of 10. Overall, not a very good pet, but has a lot of health to make up for it, I suppose. Next up we have Scooter the Snail. Now, I know a lot of people will say snails are god-awful, but I actually like snails. Usually I go for the ones that have a lot of health and quite a bit of attack power, for example the Mudshell Conch, but Scooter the Snail is one of the more high health snails in the game. He is good if you want to, like, mainly for PvE stuff, but for PvP maybe not that good, because even though he has a lot of health, he doesn't have that much of attack power. But for PvE stuff he's good, for like the Celestial Tournament and a couple of like I know the Pandaren Earth Spirit right off the bat, Pandaria. But moveset that I would go with is Ooze Touch over Absorb. A lot of snails could choose Absorb too, so that's situational right there. Shell Shield and Acidic Goo. Most snails probably will go with Acidic Goo, as it'll buff up the damage of your Ooze Touch and Absorb. And then Dive or Headbutt. He's a snail, so you're probably not going to be going first with Dive, but still does quite a bit of damage, so definitely you can choose that if you want. And then Headbutt's just a straight up 444 damage with a chance to stun, so kind of versatile again. Mainly good in PvE, but not very good in PvP, if you're interested in picking up Scooter the Snail. Next up we have Speedy. Kind of like Egbert. Well, a lot of them are kind of like Egbert. Not a very good pet, because the thing with turtles is that most of them have a lot of health and usually a decent amount of attack power. Speedy, for some reason, is a standard speed breed, which is not very good for a turtle. I mean, I guess it could be situational, since he is faster than most pets, definitely most turtles. So moveset I would definitely go with is Bite, as that is a standard 280 basic attack. Grasp is just not that good. It's not good at all. Shell Shield and Healing Wave, probably go with Healing Wave, but I guess Shell Shield could have its uses. And Headbutt or Powerball. You're already fast, so Powerball probably isn't in your best interest, but if you take Headbutt, that means you will have 2 beast type attacks, so Powerball might not be a half bad option. Overall, Speedy's not a very good pet, but I guess situationally could be useful against, like I guess undeads or something like that. Alrighty, so next up we have Whiskers the Rat. Just like Egbert, not very good. He is a health power breed. He's got quite a bit of health for a rat. He's doesn't have that very good attack power and speed though, so you're not going to really be able to take advantage of Flurry all that much. So you might want to go with Scratch here. Sting is a pretty interesting ability, as not very many pets have it, especially rats. I think the Gardevoir is the only other rat that has Sting. It lasts for 6 rounds, technically 7 I guess, if you count the turn that you throw it up. It does quite a bit of damage actually. And then Survival, but like I said, he's not very fast, so you might not want to go with Survival. And then come back in Stampede. I probably would go with Stampede, because if I go for a Sting and then Stampede, that Sting is going to be doing extra damage with that Shattered Defenses. So moveset I would go with is probably Scratch, Sting, and Stampede, if you're interested in getting him for like PvP. Alrighty. Next up we have Willy. Now Willy is a pretty interesting pet. I like him. He can be pretty good if he is faster. Unfortunately, he is a standard balance breed, so he is not that fast. If he was an SS breed, he probably would be tier 1 for sure, but at best he's a tier 2 pet. What he's got going for him is Tongue Lash. If you're faster, that will deal quite a bit of damage, as you're guaranteed a second hit and a 50% chance for a third. And then Focus Beams, but most of the time you will go with Tongue Lash. Interrupting Gaze and Eye Blast. Eye Blast is good if you're not faster and you want to take advantage of your Tongue Lash. It does quite a bit of damage and puts a speed debuff on your opponent's pet for 4 rounds. Or Interrupting Gaze, which is basically like a Paralyzing Venom. If you go first, they get interrupted for that turn, but if you're not faster, it just does 222 damage and doesn't get the interrupt off. You got Agony and Rot. I don't really suggest going for Agony. It's not a bad option, but Rot is definitely better, as it pairs quite well with its Tongue Lash. If a pet is not a undead right off the bat, you can use Rot, as it hits decently hard, plus turns them into an undead for 5 rounds. So you could take advantage of Tongue Lash. Overall, pretty decent pet. If you pair him up with something like, say, an Alpine Foxling to help increase his speed, he pretty much becomes a god tier pet, as if he's faster, he's going to do major work. Definitely recommend getting Willy if you are interested. Alrighty, now we move on to the 4 ones that most people probably have been interesting to hear about. Now, even though the frickin' Pet Battle Breed ID thing is not working for whatever reason, God, Blizzard, I don't know why you guys haven't updated the breeds yet. I do have confirmation of the breeds thanks to somebody in my Discord, so let me go ahead and pull that up real quick, as he or she, I'm assuming it's a woman based on the picture, but let me go ahead and bring it up real quick. Yeah, so forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, but Naira, she gave out the breeds, so I'll go ahead and read them off for you. So first up, Beakbert. Beakbert he is a health balance breed. He has 1627 health, 297 attack power, and 232 speed. Now, like I said, with most turtles, they will have quite a bit of health and a decent amount of attack power, as Beakbert technically has. But as you can see from his moveset, Beakbert isn't that good. He's got Triple Snap, which is definitely one of the worst abilities in the game. So definitely go for Snap, as that will be your go-to basic attack for him. Now right here is very, very confusing, because if Lick and Bubble were on 2 separate tiers, he probably would be a lot better than he is. But he's not very fast to take advantage of Bubble. But I guess you could go with Lick, as you will hopefully be faster, but with 232 speed, he's not really going to be going faster than anybody, even with that speed decrease. But if you're for whatever faster, I guess you could take advantage of going first with Dive. Nap Time, It's basically like oh god, what is that ability? It's the same exact thing as the infested bear cub that he has. Hibernate. That's the name of it. It's basically like that. You just go to sleep and you'll regain health for 3 turns. You kind of want to time this because if you're already at a low health with it and you decide to use it, there's a good chance that you will die. So the ability choice I would probably go with is Snap, Lick, and probably Dive, but Bubble is definitely a good option too. Overall, kind of like how I anticipated Beakbert. Not very good, but I guess could be decent. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so next up we have Froglet. Alright, so the stats for Froglet. He is an SS breed, no surprise there. He has 1278 health, so pretty squishy pet. 236 attack power, so doesn't hit that hard, but here's the kicker. He has 374 speed, so damn is he fast. He is a hell of a lot faster than damn Hermit Crab. So definitely the moveset I would go with is Tongue Lash, as you should be going faster than anything really. The only thing that's going to be outspeeding Froglet without a speed increaser or decreasing your own speed is definitely Flyers. The only other thing that I can think of that could outspeed him is like a Cheetah Cub. But come on, who's gonna run a Cheetah Cub? Have you seen those things? So yeah, 374 speed. Definitely go with Tongue Lash. Like, I mean, why would you take that? Take Croak over it? Like, come on. Toxic Skin and Surge. Now, a lot of people, including myself, are kind of disappointed in this. It's pretty interesting that he's the first frog to have Surge. That's pretty cool. But he's a fast pet, so he really does not need it. In this case, Toxic Skin might be the better option. Usually I don't like Toxic Skin and I talk a lot of crap about it, but in this case for Froglet, Toxic Skin might be the better option. You should be faster anyway, like I said, so at least you'll be going first with it. It's just very confusing that you would give Surge to an already fast pet. Next up we have Healing Stream or Cleansing Rain. I really like Healing Stream as it does quite a bit of healing up front and then gives half of that to your aquatics in the back line. So if you were to put them on, say, like an all aquatic team for your family brawler, I guess that wouldn't be half bad. But if not, I guess you could go with Cleansing Rain. Overall, what's the final verdict for this pet? I don't want to say he's god tier or whatever despite his speed, but I guess he's a decent tier 2 pet at best. Since he does have heal, he's crazy fast, so definitely take Tongue Lash. And probably take Toxic Skin, like I said. He already doesn't hit that hard with Surge anyway, so yeah, I don't recommend taking Surge. Definitely recommend getting him. Next up we have Mr. Krabs. Now, Mr. Krabs is a power speed breed from what I'm reading here. He has 1339 health, so he's a little squishy. He's just under 1400. He has 314 attack power, so he does hit quite hard, decently. Then he has 277 speed, so he's decently fast. The build that I would probably go with is Steam Vent, Lucky Dance, and Healing Wave. Pinch isn't bad, but if you swap out, it will reset, which is why I definitely recommend Steam Vent, as it hits a hell of a lot harder than Pinch anyway, if it hits like towards the higher end. Shell Shield isn't bad, but definitely Lucky Dance is the better option because you can pair them on a Cyclone team, or like Mr. Wiggles, if you want to make a fun gimmick team, you can put them on, like say a When Alex Fly with Trunks, or a Demolish user like Iron Starlet. So definitely recommend taking Lucky Dance over Shell Shield. Healing Wave is definitely way better than Cute Face. Cute Face is spammable, but it's only 25% chance of dodge. I mean, if you're lucky as hell, it can pay off for you, but definitely Healing Wave's the best option to go with. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty good pet, as it is another Lucky Dance user and can hit quite hard. as you heard, with 314 attack power. Definitely recommend getting this pet if you're interested. Now, for the one that a lot of people have been excited for, including myself, let's give a little drum roll for Scaly. Now, Scaly, thank God, he is not a balanced breed. So you guys can sleep easy at night, knowing that he's not a a freaking balanced breed. He's not a power breed either, in case anyone was wondering. But here are the stats. So he is a speed balanced breed. He has 1506 health, so he's got quite a bit of health, pretty tanky. He's got 305 attack power, so he hits pretty hard. And then he's got 249 speed, so he's not very fast, but he does not need to be fast. So, and that's really good too, because if you want to go with tail sweep, you could totally take advantage of that. So, he is a dragonkin, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, he is indeed the first Children Week dragon type that we have in the game so far. So, he is a very versatile pet. So, he's got Rip or tail sweep. Rip is only really good if you want to put him on a bleed team. You could totally run tail sweep if you don't have him on a bleed team. As you heard, he is very slow, so you could definitely take advantage of going second with tail sweep and getting that extra damage in. Toxic Bite, which is a pretty interesting ability. It's not like God, what's that ability? I think it's called Disease Bite, where it technically helps and doesn't benefit your opponent's pet, as they will take extra damage as well as deal extra damage. I think Toxic Bite is different from that, as it will deal damage up front and adds damage over time for 5 rounds. So I guess you could say it's somewhat of a better version of Toxic Bite. I mean, no, I forgot what that ability is called. Not Disease Bite either. That's a basic attack. I forgot what it's called, but the Infected Squirrel has it, I think. And then you got Pheromones, which not very many pets have it. It's a pretty good AoE. It only hits the backline pets. I think he's the only dragonkin with it, so imagine a dragon racial Pheromones. It'll hit decently hard, especially against some critters that are back there. Pretty good stuff right there. And here we go, right here. We got Ancient Blessing, which is a really good heal. And then we got Fade, which is basically a portal. It'll swap in a random pet, but from what I've learned, it will always swap in the next pet in line. So if you have Scaly right here, where my Royal P-Chick is, it should always swap into Frostwolf Ghost Pup as long as he's the next one in line. I've tested this before. I've did 10 straight battles with it, just against a random low-level pet in the wild, and it always brought in the second pet. Now, either I got lucky as hell with this, or it just works like that. So I'm pretty sure it just works that it'll always bring the next pet in line. So keep that in mind. Now, the build that I would go with, it's very situational. It depends on what team he's on. If he's not on the bleed team, probably go with Tail Sweep, Pheromones, and either of these are good. It's just really up to you. It's kind of hard for me to decide which I would choose, because they're both very damn good ability choices. Probably Ancient Blessing, but Fade is definitely not something to not look at. But if he's on a bleed team, now here's what you can do. Alright, so you start out with Scaly, you throw up a Rip, probably throw up a Pheromones, use Fade, and you'll swap into a high health Maul user. For example, oh no, it doesn't work like that, I forgot. It doesn't have to do with health, so as long as the pet's second in line, it will swap them in. So really, you can use any Maul pet that you want. I just used Infested Bear Cub for an example. You could use the Curious Wolvar Pup. Dark Shore Cub's another Maul user that I can think of. There are a lot of options right there. So that's really good. You just go in, throw your bleed up, throw your AoE up, swap the hell out, go into your Mauler without taking any damage, as Fade will always go first. And go into your Maul user, use Maul, and pretty much rinse and repeat. So I would say Scaly, based on his moveset and being so versatile, he is probably tier 1. And he has a good breed to back it up, too. But let me know what you guys think of Scaly. I love him. I can't wait to get him. I don't think that the Children's Week thing is officially here. I'm not sure. This is early morning right now. It's about 10. It's 1 minute away from being 10 a.m. I figured I'd just get this guide out before you guys go out there and wonder what you should get. But Scaly, definitely recommend getting this pet. Like, oh my goodness, really good. Scaly, along with Mr. Krabs and Curious Wolvar Pup, they are definitely the top 3 pets that I recommend getting from Children's Week if you haven't already. Alrighty, now, with that being said, so altogether we have 14 pets. Like I said, a lot of them not very good, but definitely recommend getting them if you want to add them to your collection, or if you're someone who doesn't really care for PvP pet battles. You could definitely make quite a bit of gold putting them on the auction house. Like I said, they can be quite lucrative, especially these 4 pets as they are new. So prices, like I said, are bound to skyrocket. Whew, man, a lot of talking right there. So yeah, definitely recommend getting as many of these pets as you can. Now, a little bit of tips for you. As far as I know, you can do this once per character, so you can pretty much get 1 pet per character. If you for some reason have none of these pets, oh well, I guess you're going to be doing it on 14 characters, or at least getting these 2 and buying whatever you don't get off the auction house. But I recommend getting as much as you can, because I don't plan to pay a single gold for either of these 4. I plan to go get them myself, personally. But if you're not interested in Children's Week whatsoever, I guess you could pay for them off the auction house if you got the gold for it. But just be warned, prices are probably going to be really high. Oh, that's a loud ass horn right there. But yeah, I think that will wrap it up for this one. Just a bit of a guide and overview for these pets. Like I said, Children's Week is just came upon us, so definitely recommend going out to get these pets as soon as you can, because it's only here for a week in the entire year. So yeah, really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of the video down in the comments. If you agree with any of the builds or how good a pet may be. For example, Scaly. I think Scaly's going to be really good personally, but definitely let me know what you guys think. And again, thank you, Naira, for the breeds of those 4 pets. Really appreciate that. But come to a closing. Really hope you guys enjoyed. This is Kofak, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.